South Carolina wins the tip, and we'd like to welcome in our viewers who just watched the wrap-up of the NBDL game. Welcome into SEC TV. We've got a good one, Vanderbilt in South Carolina, and a quick whistle down on the baseline as Chuck Ensign goes for the turnaround jumper and is hacked in the process.
He's hacked by Russell Lakey, number 11. We've got the late addition to the starting lineup, normally a point guard. I want to see if maybe Lakey might play Idson if Idson swings to the backcourt for South Carolina. That would be a matchup problem for the Gamecocks since Idson's 6'7", Lakey's 6 feet tall.
Klavic matches up with Aaron Lucas, who's coming off a good performance against Alabama. 17 points Wednesday night. Idson, this jumper will not go. Battle underneath for the boards. Petravichus coming over the back of Thornton. No call. And here comes Vanderbilt.
It's interesting to see Kevin Stallings start Lakey on Idson. I don't think that Kevin Stallings thinks that Idson can shoot the ball very well. Wants to see if that matchup problem might not be much of one because of Idson's lack of offense from the outside right now.
Idson did not score in the matchup earlier this year against Vanderbilt. And we are still scoreless with a minute gone. Inside pass, Powell can't handle it and lost out of bounds. It'll stay with South Carolina. Powell knows he missed a golden opportunity there.
Yeah, the backdoor move by Carlos Powell, which is a staple of the Vanderbilt Commodores offense. He goes backdoor early in the game.
The series history, South Carolina, as we said, has had success lately, winning 10 of the last 14, including 2 straight here in Nashville. But Vandy got the better of the matchup in Columbia earlier this year, 60-51, in which he said Idson did not even score a point. And Vanderbilt jumped all over South Carolina early in that one, jumping out to a 19-3 lead. Lucas's 3 won't go, tapped around by Petravichus, and here's Lakey with it. Klavic thought about pulling the trigger.
Both teams opening up man-to-man on the defensive end right now, half court.
The jumper from the freshman Thornton down around the key goes down.
I'm really interested, Kevin, in seeing this matchup between Lakey and Idson and seeing where Lakey's going to play him. I have a feeling that he'll play off of him if Idson wants to stand the perimeter. The tough part for him will be if Idson goes inside and they try and use him in any type of a post-up game. He's going to lay off and make him shoot the ball. He's going to have to prove it.
Idson a very quick player, though, and Lakey battling those injury problems with his foot this year. We'll see how he stays with him. He has not played a lot here lately. And quickly, there you see it. Idson getting loose.
And that's where the problem's going to come in for Russell Lakey if Idson can go inside the paint because of that the 7-inch height advantage he has on Russell Lakey.
Cross court, Klavic tries to drive on Idson, and there you see that quickness again as he cut Klavic off at the free throw line. Frege outside, 3-pointer on the way is good.
Notice how hardly anyone has a true role anymore. Everyone can swing backcourt to front court. Matt Frege's listed as their starting center, but he swings out and knocks down threes just as well as the guards do.
At 6'9", he can flat out stroke it. And Vandy has a 5-2 lead, and Lucas almost loses it in the backcourt, saves it to Idson with 15 now on the shot clock. Inside they go. Petravichus, who's been struggling lately, and that'll build your confidence.
Anytime you get a layup early, get one to go down, you're right about that, Kevin. It does help your confidence a lot to be able to make your first shot of the game.
1-point lead for Vandy, and Thornton can't make it a 3-point lead as he missed an easy one inside.
Yeah, nice pass by Chuck Moore off of the penetration. You need Thornton to make that shot.
Trying to double-team Lucas out front. Slapped away by Frege. Nice anticipation on the pass.
They also got a big bounce pass inside of 15 feet. Much tougher to stop. Helps you with the angles, too.
Klavic gets bumped into, and that 3 in and out. Vandy fans wanted a foul on that one. Here's Bradley. Leading scorer on this team, but struggled against Alabama Wednesday night. Had only 2 points. Petravichus loose inside, and they are going to count the bucket. Foul on Matt Frege.
I'm not sure they're going to count that one, Kevin. I think he's calling that one on the floor. Let's see.
He made the motion like the bucket was good, but perhaps he was motioning to the floor. I thought that was a very, very late basket there.
We've got a top-notch officiating crew today. Tom Lopes and Bruce Bendick and J.B. Caldwell. They're going to have their work cut out for them because of the intensity of this ball game. Both teams need this game to stay in the hunt for an NCAA bid.
South Carolina, one of the most physical defensive ball clubs in the conference. Bradley, three-pointer on the way. Back irons that one. And Freege clears it away for Vandy.
Be interesting to see if Vanderbilt can get Jamel Bradley to shoot on the move. He's more of a standstill shooter. Chuck Moore, one of the better shooters on the Vanderbilt squad. Brings back memories of the old bomb squad at Vandy's days with Barry Booker and guys like that. Scott Drought, who can knock them down from the perimeter. Vandy leads the SEC in three-point shooting.
4-point lead now over South Carolina. Itzen, will he get the kind roll? Yes, he does. No matter how they go down here on the road, Itzen will take anything he can get. Swinging around, Freege on the baseline. There you see that tough South Carolina defense forcing Vandy out away from the basket. Lob inside to Freege, knocked away by Powell.
You saw Chuck Gibson try to get into the passing lane, almost jumped out to try for a steal, get back in time on defense. South Carolina likes to get into passing lanes and overplay guys. We'll see if Vanderbilt goes backdoor on them today.
Great pass by Rolando Howell, who's checked into the ball game, founding Powell on the baseline cut, but the foul before the bucket. As a couple of substitutions for Vandy will be checking in after this timeout. Right now, 14:55 left to go, and Vandy has built themselves a 2-point lead. Chuck Moore knocking down the three.
The life of a Southeastern Conference student athlete can be a long, hard road with plenty of ups and downs along the way. We at Greyhound are proud to sponsor the SEC. And now with our support of the youth sports clinics, we hope to make the road easier from the beginning. Greyhound salutes the SEC student athletes, and we wish them well on their road to a championship. Greyhound and the SEC, together we're on the move.
Welcome to the best damn sports store, period.
Hey, who's the new girl?
That's Tanya Harding.
How you doing?
We got 13 here.
Oh, well, maybe you can let me slide just this one time.
Now you got 12.
Comedy, commentary, highlights, the best damn sports show, period.
I'd like to speak to your manager, please.
Every Sunday before they start their engines, it's NASCAR This Morning.
Fasten your seatbelts. Look at them go. Doesn't get any better than this.
It's the show that takes you inside the world of NASCAR for all the breaking stories on or off the track.
That is absolutely outstanding. It's almost frightening.
Don't miss the best pre-race party this side of Talladega.
It's absolutely wild.
NASCAR.
People everywhere are rushing to order the new Roadrunner High-Speed Online. Let's find out why.
I don't know what's so special about him. I'm fast and reliable. Why didn't they name High-Speed Online for me?
I'm clicking videos and news so much I'm plumb hooked on it. You know what I found? Country radio on my computer. Roadrunner, you rock.
Get free installation and your first 3 months of service for only $24.95 a month. Call the number on your screen today.
It comes to selling more GMC trucks. Straight talk means a lot.
The bottom line is the best price.
Hurry in. Get $2,002 rebates on every 2002 vehicle. Get details in the Post and Courier. It means bottom line pricing on Sierra 4-door pickups is the lowest this year, $19,457.
And if anyone asks me, I'll tell them, come to McElveen. You'll get a better deal and you'll get what you want when you want it. That's the bottom line today.
Because when you're out to keep that customer for life, everything else will take care of itself.
If he gets going, watch out.
Nice rhythm for him, too. Got the 2 hard bounces after he received the pass coming off of the screen. Got himself set, knocked down another 3.
Plavic pulls the trigger. Still can't find the range. He has had his problems here lately, but mostly on the road, where he only came up with 2 points against Florida last weekend and 3 against Kentucky Wednesday night. Howell might have gotten away with a slide step there, but no bucket anyway. Vanderbilt looking to push it. Jason Halwerda, who just checked into the lineup last time around. Here's Corey Smith from the outside. His bucket won't go.
Nice box out, too, by number 55. Rolando Howell for South Carolina. Almost a lost art at times. Guys boxing other guys off the boards in order to go for the rebound.
Itzen can't get an open look off the screen, so they'll reset things. Lucas finds Itson again off the same curl. Now Alwerda staying right with him. Shot clock approaching 12, but you know it's not going to get far before Powell pulls the trigger.
Carlos Powell's been the Tennessee Volunteer killer this year. Had 19 in the first game, earned another start against the Vols last Saturday night, played another fine ball game, and has stayed in the starting lineup since then. His confidence continues to grow.
Vandy's 4-point lead from a few minutes ago has now turned into a 4-point lead for South Carolina. 3-point shooting.
Yeah, Plavik has not gotten one to go down yet for Vanderbilt.
Shot clock inside of 10. Three-pointer on the way from the corner. No good for Moore. And a whistle underneath the basket. And Corey Smith is going to be charged with the push underneath the bucket as Freegee checks back into the lineup for Vanderbilt, along with Sam Howard, who will see his first action. And once again, here's Rolando Howell.
Yeah, nice patience in the post. And you said Rolando Howell passing the ball out to Carlos Powell, who knocked down the left-handed jumper. Something we noticed in the game notes. South Carolina, the most left-handed shooters they've ever had, have 5 on the roster. Carlos Powell being one of those 5.
No shortage of southpaws, and a whistle away from the basketball. Illegal screen out front. And big brother of Rolando, Ivan Howell, gets called for the foul. Dave Odom continues to shuttle players in and out of the lineup as Chris Warren checks in, and Aaron Lucas will take a seat.
A lot of guys coming into the game early for Dave Odom, and I think it's twofold. One, a lot of emotion spent in the loss the other night to Alabama, a game they were ahead by 15, end up losing by 1. And 2, they practiced hard on Thursday. Dave Odom said he really kicked them pretty well, trying to get them out of the doldrums. He probably spent a few of the guys, wants to make sure they have their legs under them as this game goes along, so he'll probably go a little bit deeper into his bench so that he can get guys into the second half.
Dave said he liked how they responded on Thursday, too, after that disappointing 1-point loss.
he really put it to him, too, didn't he? He did that. He made sure they weren't going to flounder around and feel sorry for themselves after that one. He said he didn't want Alabama to beat them twice. In other words, lose to them in the game and then have them on their minds as they go play the next game. He thinks that that's behind them and they're ready to go today.
Vandy has lost 3 of their, or rather South Carolina has lost 3 of their last 4, but all of them to top 10 teams, so nothing to hang your head about. Shot clock down to 10 now.
And Vandy has to go into a set, try and get a shot here.
Alwerda, maybe not the guy to try and get something on his own, but he passes out to Shibashevsky, who just checked into the lineup. His three-pointer won't go.
Another good box out there by Itson.
They swing it around. Horn looking inside, can't find anything. Itson open for 3. Left that one a bit short.
Kevin Stalling says that's the shot. That's what we want. Anytime they'll leave Itson open until he proves he can make those jumpers from the perimeter.
Howell a little late getting back, but swung around Shibashevsky there to steal it away. And Howell gets lost in the backdoor cut. Shibashevsky got turned around, and Rolando Howell will step to the free throw line.
Again, a taste of Vanderbilt's own medicine. They're known as the practitioners of the backdoor cut. Kevin Stallings' offense, very difficult to prepare for, especially on such short notice. What did Dave Odom tell us today in shoot around? It's almost like getting ready for a wishbone offense in football. You don't have that much time. He said the football coaches get a week. We get 1 day. And you see the backdoor move there by Rolando Howell before he's fouled. And Freegee catches one in the chops. Hopefully he'll be all right.
Howell getting the pitch coming out of the backfield there in that wishbone offense. But he can't hit the free throw.
He was running downhill as Barry Switzer liked to have his tailbacks coming off that big crown at Oklahoma. Big freight train getting loose.
You see Howell's averages this season, who's also been battling sinus infection here lately, but seems to be over it now, but can't make either of his free throws. And it remains 12-8. It's been that way for a while here, and now the Vandy faithful starting to get into this one a little bit.
And Howell missing both free throws, almost fitting a 57% free throw shooter coming into the ball game.
57% over, or in SEC, or overall rather, but shoots it a lot better in conference play, but not showing it there.
They forgot to tell him that Vandy's in the conference right now. They need to make those since he was shooting them better.
Ivan Howell, he can shoot it from out there. His 3 no good, and still can't break this 12-8 ball game right now. No one can seem to find a bucket.
Yeah, sorry about that, Kevin. One thing to keep an eye on is how physical things will get on the inside. That's exactly what Vanderbilt needs. Brian Thornton matching South Carolina's physicalness. We talked about that at the top, Kevin. South Carolina is known as a strong physical team. Kevin Starnes was worried about his team matching that. That's the type of play that will do so. Brian Thornton getting inside. Shot goes up from three. You see Thornton get the inside position. Ivan Howell's hooking him on the arm. He's strong enough to get the rebound and the putback, and now go to the free throw line for the old Smith-Barney three-point play. The old-fashioned way, trying to earn it.
Thornton a load on the inside, and only a freshman. He has got a bright future here. Can't cap the free-point play, though, so South Carolina comes away with it and still maintaining a 2-point lead.
A lot of screening by both teams. You'll see them. We've already seen an illegal screen call today. Don't be surprised if you see a few more of those. These teams will lay hard picks on each other.
Howell off to Warren. Jumper on the way off the mark.
And that came off of a screen from Ivan Howell out at the top. Warren didn't get the shot anywhere close, but the screen freed him up for the shot.
Plavic, nice look inside to Freegee. Ivan Howell got a hand on him. That was number 2 on Howell. And we have timeout on the floor. 10:23 left to go in this one. And it's a tight affair. Only a 2-point lead for the visiting Gamecocks.
Thanks to the technology inside, you can take Guinness Draft outside. Introducing Guinness Draft in a bottle.
So, what's your deal?
Fast food consultant. I'll try your new product and tell you if I like it. What do you got?
My new big cheeseburger. For a limited time, it's just 79 cents. A big patty with 2 kinds of melting cheese for 79 cents.
Okay, I'll eat that.
What do you charge?
$25,000.
Any takers?
All I need is one. So the $25,000 is... per nugget.
This season, SEC tailgating won't be complete without first visiting one of your local Hibbett sports stores. Here you'll find the brand new 2001 SEC collection and a money savings offer from Golden Flake. Whenever you purchase a 12¼ ounce bag of Golden Flake thin and crispy chips, you'll receive a coupon worth 20% off any SEC collection item. And when you buy collection merchandise, you'll get a coupon for buy one, get one free off Golden Flake's Mazitos brand tortilla chips. It's a win-win when you're wearing the SEC collection.
South Carolina leads our game 12-10 here in Nashville on SEC TV. And a reminder, immediately following our game is a cross-state ladies grudge match. 3rd-ranked Tennessee trying to avenge their only SEC loss of the season against 6th-ranked Vanderbilt. So stick around. The best in women's college basketball right here in the SEC, and it follows our game here in Nashville.
Well, that ought to be a heck of a game because Vanderbilt has actually won the last 2 games against Tennessee, beat them in last year's SEC tournament, beat them in the first meeting in the regular season, kicked them pretty well right here in Nashville. Now, Pat Sum and her crew want a little revenge, but Jim Foster's team's playing awfully well right now.
Great battle of the point guards. Kara Lawson, Ashley McElhaney, 2 of the best not only in the SEC but in the country. We've got a good one here right now. Tight battle between Carolina and Vandy. 12-10, Gamecocks lead. Lakey back into the ball game, running the point now. Finds Plavic in the corner, cross court to Howard. He pulls up from 3, left that one short.
South Carolina matching up in the zone there, making sure they were tagging each shooter. Aaron Lucas gets to the basket, doesn't get it to go down.
Rondo Howell tried to follow it up, but a little too strong off the glass. Lakey to Plavic, drives on Idson, kicks it out. Freegee wide open, can't knock it down.
We just saw a little evidence, though, why Russell Lakey started today, Kevin, because he's the push guy. He's the guy who's got quickness with the basketball for Vanderbilt. He advances the ball up and also frees up Brendan Plavic to float on the perimeter in order to get open and shoot his threes. He doesn't have to handle the ball as much. That frees him up.
Howell held on to that one for a while, and Freegee gave him enough space to get the jumper off, and it's a 4-point lead for Carolina.
So Rolando Howell signaled to the bench. He's a little tired. We get another illegal screen.
Looks like Brian Thornton will pick up the personal for Vandy. A little hard screen out front there. And there was a look at Lakey, who...
Yeah, you talked about the patience he had in the post. He looking for a cutter, looking for someone. You mentioned Frigie didn't really push up on him. And he was able to get square, get himself balanced. Short little baseline jumper.
More back in the lineup for Vanderbilt as Matt Frigie will sit down. Also into the lineup for South Carolina is Tony Kitchings. Big guy inside. That'll be quite a battle of the beef down inside between he and Brian Thornton. Corey Smith getting a little physical with Kitchings down in there.
That's what they need. They need to match them body for body. Not let South Carolina get that advantage where they think that they can knock Vanderbilt's guys out of the way. And so far today, Vanderbilt is matching them inside the paint.
Leakey driving on Itson, kicks it out. Nice ball movement by Vandy, but give South Carolina credit. They are closing the gap early. Itson, who leads the SEC in steals, almost came up with one there. Shot clock down to 5. Lakey's got to do something. Itson all over him, blocks the shot. Great defensive stand by South Carolina.
That's what 6'7" on 6 feet tall does for you.
Itson makes the defensive stop on one end, knocks the 3 down on the other end.
Amazing what it does for your confidence when you play good defense on one end. You go down court and you feel pretty good about yourself. Itson catches the ball in motion, knocks down the 3-point shot.
Bruce Benedict with a call down inside. Corey Smith just picked up a foul for Vanderbilt. So they will turn the ball back over to South Carolina and mass substitutions for Vanderbilt.
See, Itson being 6'7" has his advantages when the guy you're checking is 6 feet tall, and Lakey got caught with the shot clock, had to burp up a shot. Then Itson came down, and you notice how they caught him in transition and caught him setting up for the shot. He's able to step into the jumper. Didn't have to fall away, didn't have to fall to the side, stepped right into it, knocked it down. That'll do wonders for his confidence shooting the ball from the perimeter.
Carlos Powell rattles one home for Carolina. 64% shooter on the season and used the rim well on that one too. And the lead has grown to 9. Vandy has been stuck at 10 for quite a while right now as Carolina is on an 11-2 run.
Dave Odom unleashed a little bit of a trap there, picking up full court, changing his defense on Vanderbilt after a score. Excellent time, and it caught Vanderbilt a little bit up by surprise. Disrupted them in trying to get into their offense.
Diving on the floor is Aaron Lucas. Shot clock down to 10. And look at this tenacious defense by South Carolina. The wide open Shivashevsky can't get it. Tap no good. Battle underneath. Tony Kitchings gets the board.
And despite all that hustle by South Carolina, Vanderbilt should have gotten a basket out of the play. Didn't. South Carolina's able to come down court. But then Vanderbilt picks up a nice defensive play. And number 24, Scott Hundley, taking the charge.
Nice hustle to get back as Aaron Lucas lowered the shoulder, trying to capitalize and push the lead to double digits. Right now it stands at 9, 19-10. The Gamecocks leading on the road.
In 1971, we started with a small wood preserving plant. It's hard to believe. But our number one goal has always been to be the best. My daddy always said, if you're ripe, you're rotten. If you're green, you're still growing. Great Southern wood, still growing after 30 years.
There's a light in your soul that says you're one of a kind. Don't never let it go. Be original, an individual. Like Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. Stepping better. Be you, do what you do.
The 2002 SEC Women's Basketball Tournament. Tickets, call 615-255-9600 or go to secsports.com.
Kevin Stallings, Vanderbilt Commodores trailing by 9 here at home in a game that he knows could be make or break for his doors this season.
Probably as important a game as we've played all year, not only because it's the next one, but because of what we feel like it can do in terms of propelling us here at the end of the season. We need to close the conference season with a little bit of a rush, and a win today would certainly help get us started doing that.
Right now, they have been stuck at 10 points for quite a while, a scoring drought for the Commodores. And you see it, 2 points in the last 7.5 minutes. Right now, Vandy shooting 22% in the ball game, and another turnover. Warren looking to capitalize. Great runner off the glass.
Yeah, great body control by Chris Warren, too. Chuck Moore tried to bait him into the charge. And now South Carolina with the momentum. Dave Odom unleashing the full court trap again, looking to see if he can create more turnovers against Vanderbilt. Interesting what Kevin Stallings said about trying to get some momentum towards the end of the year. You remember last season, Vanderbilt finished it with 8 straight losses, including a loss in the SEC tournament. 2 SEC teams. So he definitely doesn't want to go out this year as they did last year. That's why he talks about this game being so important today.
Vandy looking to sweep the Carolina series for the first time since the 93-94 season. Right now, not looking good, and Powell knocks it away inside with only 3 seconds left on the shot clock. So Vandy has their work cut out for them here to get a good look at the bucket. As Chuck Idson checks back in, Chris Warren will take a seat.
And Dave Odom up exhorting his defense. 3 seconds on the shot clock. He'd sure love to see another stop here. His team has all the momentum, and it's been keyed by their defense.
Inside, Shibashevsky, great block down inside, jump ball called. And the possession arrow
stays with Vanderbilt.
Favors the Commodores.
See how they triggered inside. They got what they wanted. Shibashevsky getting to the inside, but Carlos Powell with the left hand blocks it. It's a jump ball call.
Great rotation to get back, and Alwerda doesn't realize there's only 1 second on the shot clock, so a violation as they throw it out over midcourt. And they're hearing it from the fans.
I think the fans were thinking that the clock would be reset on that play, but it doesn't. Kevin Stallings not happy with the execution of his team, of course. And right now, he has to find a way to put a halt to the momentum of South Carolina's building, because this is just increasing the confidence of Dave Odom's team on the road.
3 blocks for South Carolina. Vandy, not a very good shot blocking team, with none here this afternoon. Kitchings double teamed in the post. Powell just inside the arc, or just outside. He took a step back and knocked down another 3.
And the tough part for Vanderbilt is they have to decide whether they want to double Kitchings in the post or make sure you guard the guys in the perimeter. Kitchings not a super offensive threat. You might want to think about playing him straight up and making sure you don't release a guy free for the triple, as Powell just knocked down.
Chuck Moore finally breaks that 18-2 run for South Carolina, cutting the lead back to 11. And a whistle out here as the shot clock was not functioning that time. It's still stuck at 35, so they'll milk it down.
J.B. Caldwell, one of the officials here. I told you, it's an excellent officiating crew. He was all over it about the time that needs to go on the clock. But Chuck Moore, the top of the key. This is what Vanderbilt's going to need plenty of, is his offense. But what they really need right now is a lot of defense. That's how they're going to that's how they'll claw their way back into the game. And South Carolina would love to see this game stay in the 60s. You know, they're the #1 defensive team in the league according to scoring defense, only giving up 62 points per game.
But also lacking in offense at only 69 points a game scored. That's 11th in the SEC, so they're both ends of the spectrum.
Good point. That's why they want to stay in the 60s.
Knocked away inside. Powell outside. Idson tries another 3. That one way off the mark. Powell bails him out with the offensive board. He can't get it to go.
What was the difference between that last 3 Idson knocked down and the one he just took, Kevin? It was rhythm, and he wasn't thinking about the last one. Good pass out. Nice run out.
The SEC leader in steals makes up for it on the other hand, gives Aaron Lucas an easy bucket.
See, that's why you live with shots like that from Idson. You know, if Chuck Idson's not giving you a great game offensively, you don't have to worry about a thing, because defensively he gives you everything. Last 7 games, he's getting 4 steals per ball game and really keying South Carolina on the defensive end. He's a fine ball player.
8 turnovers for Vanderbilt now, and South Carolina leads the SEC in steals at just over 11 per ball game in conference play. Moore can't shake loose. Shot clock down to 5 once again. South Carolina forcing Vandy to milk it. It's down to 2. Freegee is not going to get this one off. Shot clock violation, the second of the ball game, and the Vandy fans are irate. So is Kevin Stallings.
He's going to go to the bench for some subs. See the play again. Idson again. Misses the shot, but does he hang his head? No. He comes right back on defense. As I said, 4 steals per ball game in the last 7. Gets the steal and a beautiful pass for an easy run out for Aaron Lucas, who's been trying to get off the schneid himself in recent games. Had 20 against Tennessee. Had another nice ball game the last time out against Alabama. They need his leadership, and he seems to be back on the beam. But Chuck Gibson, he's been the guy who's keyed them the last 7 ball games, especially on the defensive end.
Lucas poured in 20 against these Commodores back on January 19th as well, so he is prone to erupt at any time, as is Jamel Bradley, who has been struggling here lately. Tony Kitchings inside position, and you're not going to stop that.
Beautiful pass over the top. Getting it over the top to Tony Kitchings against the zone. You turn your head just a little bit. Young guys can see the floor pretty well. Nice pass to Tony Kitchings, and he finishes it off.
The lead has now ballooned to 15, 28-13 as we're inside 4 minutes. And Vanderbilt calls a timeout, and Kevin Stallings, the jacket has come off. It has come off, and he is about to go off on his team here in the huddle. And Vandy fans on their feet, trying to encourage their team.
Kevin Stallings not a happy man right now. Remember what we talked about with him in the walkthrough today. He talked about this is the biggest game of the year. He wanted to see if his team would respond.
Stallings trying to light a fire under his team, trailing by 15.
As backyards go, Florida's is tough to beat, especially now with all the discounts available on lodging, attractions, and fun. There's never been a better time to visit, so go to FLAUSA.com and learn all about the hot Florida vacation deals going on right now.
This is a perfect place to pursue our dreams. We're all about work.
We want to try to keep the guy in front of us and move your feet.
When I'm out here, I feel at home. It's all about the passion.
To purchase NPDL tickets, call 1-800-4NBA-TICKS or visit npdl.com.
As backyards go, Florida's is tough to beat, especially now with all the discounts available on lodging, attractions, and fun. There's never been a better time to visit, so go to FLAUSA.com and learn all about the hot Florida vacation deals going on right now.
Every move, every story, every weeknight.
Did you see that? That's a classic. You believe that?
This is totally NASCAR.
This is Fox Sports Net.
Your exclusive destination for all that is NASCAR. Totally NASCAR. Weeknights.
Back to the live action. Tony Kitchings scoring a bucket for Carolina just a moment ago, but Vandy responds with a 3, and now looking for a big defensive stand. Kitchings hard off the glass to himself. About as ugly a shot as you'll ever want to see as he threw that one right off the glass to himself, but it works out as he'll step to the free throw line.
Yeah, the end result very effective. Not as pretty as Tracy McGrady in the NBA All-Star game by any stretch of the imagination, but the end result worked out. He'll go to the free throw line and shoot 2, and a foul will go against Chuck Moore, who hit the triple for Vanderbilt just a few seconds ago while we were away. But you know, the tough part is for Vanderbilt is Kevin Stallings, their head coach, has played his ace with the emotion. He's gone off. The crowd's gotten into it. Everyone's seen his reaction. Now he needs to see it from his team. You know, his team has to respond to that.
Kitchings, only a 40% free throw shooter, cans them both. And the lead has grown to double a Vandy score, 32-16. Here on the road, South Carolina dominating in the first half. 32-16. No one expected this, but maybe Vandy getting a little bit of taste of what they did to Carolina and Columbia back in January when they broke out to a 19-3 lead and then broke out in the second half with a 15-0 run, and that's what helped them hang on for the ball game to win. But right now, they are really stunning this Vanderbilt club.
Yeah, payback is tough, isn't it? And you don't expect what Vanderbilt did to South Carolina to happen at the Carolina Coliseum any more than you expect South Carolina to come here to Memorial Coliseum in Nashville and do what they're doing early. They're taking the crowd out of it. Actually, they haven't taken the crowd out of it. That's a misnomer. They've got the crowd upset with their own team right now, which is probably even more effective than having them just quiet, because they're very disgruntled by what they see on the floor. Kevin Stallings has gone to the emotion card. You know, he really went off on his team trying to jack them up. He told us in shoot-around that he told them all week long how important this game was, and he hoped that they would respond in life. So far, they haven't. But Tony Kitchings has been a monster in the middle lately for South Carolina.
No doubt about it. He is a load inside, and once he gets this great position down inside, he is hard to stop. Lob it over the backside, over the defense of Phrygia, and Tony Kitchings and a spark off the bench. And here's a guy, Charles, who's really had some problems this year as far as getting playing time, because he hasn't been really, I guess you would say, addicted to the weight loss program that they've tried to keep him on.
Yeah, they've been trying to get his weight down, and they've been trying to give him in better condition. And this is where they expected him to help big time this year. Points in the paint. South Carolina plus 12 right now in this ball game. Vanderbilt needed to match them physically. They've been doing that for a while, but guys like Tony Kitchings, Rolando Howell have played well on the inside. If you turn your head for just a second on defense, guys lob the ball over the top. Normally you see a dunk, but Tony Kitchings went up, caught it, put it back off the glass. It's just as effective. It's still 2 points.
Kitchings got a little bit of poundage to get off the ground if he wants to dunk it, but as we said, once he gets that inside position, he is tough to stop because he can flatten muscle you around down on the post.
And right out of the timeout, Dave Odom shows the trap again from South Carolina, which has disrupted Vanderbilt's offense today.
Russell Lakey trying to make something happen, and there South Carolina draws the charge. That is number 61 for the team this season. They have made it an art to do that this year.
They really have. They've done an excellent job. And here's why. Russell Lakey gets in just too deep. Rolando Howell stepping over. A case could be made that Rolando Howell didn't get there in time, but the officials saw it the other way. In any event, turnover against Vanderbilt, and now it comes back the other way. And Kevin Stallings still got the energy going, of course, trying to get his team to come along and show his fire. Now, you talked about 61 charges picked up by South Carolina this year. Last season, 47 total for the year. So Dave Odom's teachings have already taken hold in Columbia.
They are willing to take more than one for the team. Inside, Brian Thornton gets the crowd going with the jam.
Now they need to stop defensively to really keep the crowd into it. They can't match them basket for basket. They need to find a way to get a little bit of a run going. The defense will have to key that.
Jamel Bradley silences the masses.
Beautiful screen down on the baseline. Jamel Bradley goes out, pops up, plants himself, sets up, knocks down another triple.
His second three of the afternoon, 6 points for Bradley. Lakey driving, dishes out. Phrygia open outside. That one too strong. South Carolina can smell blood. They're looking to push the tempo off every miss.
But they're doing it very much under control. You notice Aaron Lucas the whole way down didn't jam it in so deep that he couldn't make a play. And there's Bradley again for another bomb.
Off balance doesn't matter. Pretty stroke. He's got 9.
And all the screens that you hear about Vanderbilt running on their offensive end, on their sets, you see remnants of that with South Carolina springing free their shooters on the perimeter. Bradley got another bump on the outside and used it to his advantage.
Inside a minute, and the biggest lead of the afternoon for Carolina. It's 20-point lead now. Brian Thornton gets fouled down inside. And he will step back to the free throw line, the big freshman. Trying to inspire Vandy here as he got the big jam a minute ago and took it hard to the basket that time.
And you mentioned it, Kevin. It brought the crowd right into it, but they were immediately silenced because Jamel Bradley hit a three on the other end on the very next possession. You've got to get a jam, make a play, and then you have to make another play on the defensive end. That's exactly what Kevin Stallings needs to see out of his team.
Scott Hundley checking back into the ball game for Vanderbilt. As Thornton connects on both and cuts the lead to 18. Very good free throw shooting team is Vanderbilt. Bradley weaves his way through traffic. Bounce pass won't go. Petralicious battling underneath. Maybe got away with coming over the back, but Vandy comes away with the basketball. And only about a 1 second differential between the game clock and the shot clock right now. Inside, they go to Thornton, go back to the well, and it runs dry that time.
Good job on the double team inside by South Carolina. Knocks Thornton off balance a little bit. He's not able to finish. Dave Odom wants a timeout. Get one last play diagram before the half with an 18-point lead. He'd sure love to make it 20 or more.
Right now with the lineup on the floor, you would think he would have to be designing something for Jamel Bradley, who has come down and knocked down a couple of threes in a row. Maybe they can spring him free.
Yeah, even if you and I can see that. Yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, the way Jamel Bradley's shooting the ball now has a ton of confidence. He missed his last shot working inside off the dribble, which a lot of people say is the best way to defend him. Don't let him go and spot up and find his way. You see Aaron Lucas setting up Russell Lakey, but Lakey really didn't have to do anything because Bradley came off with a screen off the baseline. Chuck Moore couldn't get there in time. And you notice he's just spotted up, catching it, turning, and shooting the basketball. Here's another one. Again, he gets a nice little bump off the flare, pops it again from the three-point line. That's Jamel Bradley's move. If you make him put it on the floor and have to create his own shot, he's a lot less effective. That's what Vanderbilt needs to do with him, but it's easier said than done. I can call it from here, but I don't have to go out and defend that young man either.
Lucas will let the clock wind down inside of 10 seconds. They try to double team him out front, and it works. Scott Helling came over with Lakey to double team, and Lucas threw it away.
Good job by Kevin Stallings out of the timeout. He gave Dave Odom's team a little taste of their own medicine there with a trap himself. Surprised him a little bit in the timeout, forced a turnover, and now Vanderbilt has a chance to get a hoop with 6 seconds to go and feel better about themselves going into the half.
It would be a big momentum swing, but no dice. Idson comes up with it, and they will not get a shot off. But South Carolina heads to the locker room in control firmly, leading by 18. Dave Odom's team looking good on the road here in Nashville.
Let's see. I feel like I'm just a normal hearing type of person, but at the same time, I know in my roots that I'm a deaf person also, so I just can't forget where I came from.
Jamel Bradley was just 18 months old when he came down with a fever of 106. He lost 80% of his hearing. His hearing aids now are the only signs that this guy might be a little different. But back in grade school,
I really didn't think I really belonged in this world at that time because all the remarks I got, the blank stares, and people yelling and thinking that they needed to learn sign language only to communicate with me.
Basketball became the avenue for Bradley to best express himself. The University of South Carolina has outfitted him with state-of-the-art high-tech digital hearing aids, and in return, he has become the school's premier three-point artist, both single-season and career record holder from behind the arc.
Every time he shoots the ball, there's not a person in the gym or a person on our team that thinks he's going to miss.
People talk the talk, he walks the walk. And I said, is there anything that I need to do to help you become a full person? He said, no, Coach, I'm doing quite well. He said, I'll let you know if there is. He's never asked.
These are the sounds of basketball that we just take for granted, don't we? Well, in a sense, so does Jamel Bradley. So he has to wear hearing aids. If he didn't, he could still torch an opponent from outside the arc. But there is something to be said about hearing the crowd go crazy.
Elementary, junior high, I would just cut them off and just turn them off, and then I would just shoot free throws. But nowadays, it's pretty much I let the fans do it because when I shoot free throws, they're all loud, and if I'm away and they're loud, some of my fans there, they're pretty much saying, "Hey, why you guys screaming? You know he cannot hear you guys." So I pretty much let the fans do the talking for me. I just pretty much don't mess with the hearing aids now.
He's one of those people that always lifts the room up. He's always smiling. He's always having a good time. And, you know, being his roommate for 2 years, I got a chance to be a part of what Jamel Bradley as a person is all about.
Yes, the smile. Like his hearing aids, Jamel Bradley takes that infectious grin wherever he goes. And now, after 4 years at South Carolina, he understands what the folks back home in Beckley, West Virginia were trying to tell him.
You're going to do this, you're going to do that. And I would pretty much give him a blank stare like, what are you talking about? And pretty much, it works out for me naturally, and I think I would consider myself like an inspiration.
When I was a kid, I was amazed they could put anybody on the moon. When I was in college, I learned that to build anything, it takes a great team. And now I'm a member of a crew that makes 3.5 million pounds go straight up in the air. You and I may never ride on the shuttle, but the miracle is we're all moved by it anyway.
Good burn endeavor.
200 years of learning. The University of South Carolina. The world is waiting.
Loud and clear.
Another do-it-yourself commercial from Advance Auto Parts.
At Advance, we stock a lot of parts. Who cares if we don't have the one you need?
And Robbie Cam will demonstrate we do.
Robbie, distributor for a 92 T-Bird. Find it. Go.
Got it.
Fetch me a locking hub for an 87 Wrangler.
Correct.
Fuel injector for 75 Dodge Charger.
75 Charger doesn't have fuel injectors.
Correct. Proof that at Advance, the best part is our people.
Who's your daddy?
Shrimp Fest is on, and you're gonna have fun eating all the shrimp you crave. So bring all your friends, your kids, and your kin to the great little seafood place, Captain D's. Shrimp Fest is hot, Captain D's. Look at all we got.
You'll get it all with D's Classic Shrimp and more. Piled high with our mouth-watering bite-sized shrimp.
No reason to be scared to come on in and do some shrimping at the great little seafood place, Captain D's, please.
Carolina on top, 38-20 over Vanderbilt here at halftime in Nashville here on SEC TV. Welcome back, everyone. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Kevin Hensley. And Charles, we knew going into this ball game it was going to be a prize fight. But I'll tell you what, I think everyone's surprised that South Carolina has been the one taking the fight right to Vanderbilt.
Yeah, especially since both teams knew the stakes coming into the game. Both of them came in 14-10, 4-7 in the conference, and both still had NCAA hopes. Both of them wanted to go to the big dance. It seemed as if South Carolina got the memo and Vanderbilt didn't. We saw Kevin Stallings, the head coach for Vanderbilt. He snapped somewhere midway through the second part of the first half, but his team didn't match his intensity. So coming out of that timeout, South Carolina came right down and got a hoop. I don't know what's going on with Vandy, but Kevin Stallings wants to get some answers at the half.
I don't think anyone in this building would want to be in the Vanderbilt locker room right now and feel the wrath of Kevin Stallings. Let's check out the scores from around the rest of the SEC. Georgia, that ball game was tied at halftime, but the Bulldogs wind up sweeping the series with Kentucky.
Yeah, they're very tough at home. They've had a really tough last 2 weeks, and they've really gotten it done. Alabama won. And there's another little bit of a surprise. LSU is so beat up. They went to Arkansas and beat Nolan Richardson's squad.
The Tide in the ball is in a shootout and a shocker from Oxford as Rod Barnes' club clamps down on the Gators.
Yeah, they always manage to get a huge win in the Tad Pad every single year. Some years it's Kentucky. This year it's Florida. Rod Barnes and his team playing very well in the West. They still have a chance to win the West. Florida and Georgia still in the logjam up top. Kentucky lost a chance to gain ground today. Tennessee again losing. South Carolina and Vandy, whoever wins today still has a shot at going to the NCAAs.
Something will change there. Alabama winning 2 straight now after that loss last weekend at Mississippi State. Ole Miss continuing to hang around.
Yeah, definitely hanging around. Florida right now dropping off the pace a little. Alabama for the class of the conference as we speak.
Vandy not hanging around. They trail by 18 at halftime.
This is a perfect place to pursue our dreams. All about work.
You want to try to keep the guy in front of us and move your feet.
I'm out here, I feel at home. It's all about the passion.
To purchase NBDL tickets, call 1-800-4NBA-TICKS or visit nbdl.com.
What are you doing the rest of your life? Are you living up to the potential that life has to offer?
Let Life University show you the way to an exciting career. There's tremendous opportunity for doctors of chiropractic throughout the country, and the world's largest chiropractic university can help you explore this rich, rewarding, and prestigious career.
Do you have what it takes to make a difference? There's no better time to find out. Call Life University today.
Guinness draft outside. Introducing Guinness Draft in a bottle. Every Sunday before they start their engines, it's NASCAR This Morning.
Fasten your seatbelts. We're gonna go. Doesn't get any better than this.
It's the show that takes you inside the world of NASCAR for all the breaking stories on or off the track.
That is absolutely outstanding. It's almost frightening.
Don't miss the best three-race party this side of Talladega.
It's absolutely wild.
NASCAR This Morning, tomorrow on Fox Sports Net.
Most people go to college to get an education. Me, I got an angle. I was the man, the campus book. I had a college basketball player in my pocket shaving points, and I was making bank. Bank. I had it all. The sun, the fun, the girls, the gambling, the drugs, the money, the money, the money, the money. It was the perfect plan.
Big Shot, Confessions of a Cat.
Had your own movie theater. What kinds of movies would you show?
Use your imagination.
I'd show my kinds of stories. Great drama. Stories that are true to life. And don't forget romances and stars.
Radio Madonna!
Welcome to Lifetime Movie Network with your kind of movies showing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Lifetime Movie Network. Your movies on. Lifetime Movie Network. Now available on digital cable from Time Warner.
Picture this. I'm a city guy, doing the whole city thing. But then my job lands me out here. Can you picture it? My nationwide insurance agent could. She made sure my city car was covered out here in the country. Now if I could just get used to the traffic.
Call a nationwide agent today. Nationwide, on your side. In North Charleston, call Gary Eagle. In West Ashley, call John Herndon. And in Mount Pleasant, call Patrick Smith.
First down to Duncan brings the crowd into it ever so briefly because on the very next possession for South Carolina, Jamel Bradley, another three from the corner, and then the very next possession for South Carolina, off of the flare, he knocks down another one. That's been the story in the first half. The intensity has all been felt by South Carolina.
And the shooting numbers tell the tale, Charles. Not only the field goal percentage, but the three-point percentage.
Yeah, Vanderbilt known as an excellent three-point shooting team, only 29% in the first half, and then points off of turnovers, as well as points in the paint, telling the tale for South Carolina.
We'll see if Vandy gets things turned around here in the second half. They trail big.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night.
Sir, can I help you, sir?
No, thanks. So happy together.
Fest is back. Dive into Red Lobster's mouth-watering celebration of your favorite lobster dishes and succulent new creations, starting at just $10.99. Red Lobster, go overboard.
At Advance Auto Parts, we believe in doing it yourself. So we made this commercial ourselves. Yo, Ron, go ahead. 3, 2, 1. Robbie, can you come down here for a second? Here's some it's prices, not prizes. We don't have prizes. We have prizes?
Shrimp Fest is on, and you're gonna have fun eating all the shrimp you crave. So bring all your friends, your kids and your kin to the great little seafood place, Captain D's. Shrimp Fest is hot, Captain D's. Look at all we got.
Try Dee's new shrimp pasta Alfredo, covered in a rich, creamy Alfredo sauce.
Told these little skits to come on in and do some shrimping at the great little seafood place, Captain D's, please.
Hey, who's the new girl?
That's Tanya Hardy.
How you doing?
We got 13 here.
Oh, well, maybe you can let me slide just this one time.
Now you got 12.
Comedy, commentary, highlights, the best damn sports show, period.
I'd like to speak to your manager, please.
We welcome you back into Nashville, Tennessee. 38-20, South Carolina leading. As we start the second half, Gamecocks with the basketball.
Kevin, coaches always talk about the first 4 minutes of a half and checking intensity levels. After what Vanderbilt went through in the first half, you know it was a pretty spirited session at halftime with Kevin Stallings. Let's see if his team responds and gives him the effort that he needs and wants from them to start the second half.
And immediately, Vanderbilt gets a stop as Marius Petravicius called for the loose ball foul.
Carlos Powell with
8 points for Carolina, 7 for Itson.
Chuck Moore with 9, and Brian Thornton with 8 for Vanderbilt.
3 big threes for Jamel Bradley in the first half
for Carolina, and he's got 9.
Klavic still in a slump.
Offensive rebound, Thornton.
Nice hustle on the floor,
and a jump ball called
as Itson piled in on him.
I think that should go to Vanderbilt on the alternating possession. Good job by both teams getting on the floor. That's more like it. Beautiful look by Frege, finding Klavic wide open for a 3 on the other side. As you mentioned, he's still cold for the day. Guy shooting 46% for the season from the three-point line. Hasn't gotten one to go at all this afternoon.
5 points combined in the past
2 ball games, and he's scoreless here today, 0 for 4.
Inside they go to Thornton.
That's been the place
to go here lately, but the big guy
can't get it to go this time. Aaron Lucas, nice save out here, and Corey Smith
picks up a cheap one.
Yeah, you remember the old force out? Remember that one when we were kids? They called force out, no foul. They just keep the possession going one way. But they took that rule off the books a number of years ago. You have to call something. And Aaron Lucas trying to roll the tightrope. Corey Smith happened to be in the wrong spot at that time. He gets hit with the foul.
3 fouls on the freshman out of Houston, Texas. So he's got to be a little more careful here the rest of the way, but
you can't afford to be too careful.
Trailing by 18.
And Vanderbilt has to show the intensity and the aggression, but they can't get so tight trying to do it that they can't make shots. And that's been their biggest problem. 29% in the first half shooting the ball from three-point range.
We welcome you into Nashville. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Kevin Hensley. Vanderbilt in South Carolina. For the second time this season, Vandy victorious on the road. Back on January 19th, South Carolina trying to return the favor here at Memorial Gymnasium. Klavic. Outside, Chuck Moore. A little bit long on that one. Smith, nice hustle, tries to save it and does.
Excellent job saving it. Needs to turn into points for Vanderbilt, though.
Shot clock was winding down, though, in an offensive foul. Yet another charge drawn, this time Aaron Lucas with a nice hustle.
Tried to turn in too deep. Chuck Moore got in a little deep on that one, wasn't able to pull up. And one thing about South Carolina, if they're going to show themselves and get any type of contact, someone's going to hit the ground. You know, they're very good at that. Sometimes it's a charge, sometimes it isn't. But today they've been getting the good whistle going their way.
2 minutes gone here in the second half, and we've yet to have a score. Lucas tries to change that. The runner, no. Battle underneath. And this one could go on just about anyone. We'll see who the whistle goes against.
Then they got Petravicius going over the top.
2 quick ones for Petravicius here in the second half.
Good offensive rebounder, Kevin. He's one of the top ones in the SEC. Gets a little more than 3 offensive rebounds per game. But you can't get him going over the top of someone if the whistle's blowing, can you?
He has been struggling here lately and maybe just trying to get something going. As both these teams are, as no one can seem to find the range here in the second half, and they still can't. Moore's 3 no good. And Petravicius has picked up his 3rd foul, knocking Frege down. Marius Petravicius went the whole first half without a foul, and he's picked up 3 inside of 2.5 minutes here in the second half.
He's accumulating those it's almost as if he thinks those count for points for his team. But he is hustling. That's how he's picked up a couple of them. Trying to get to the basketball, trying to get a rebound.
Smith looking down inside. Howell cutting Thornton off on the post. Smith, high post, Klavic. Jamel Bradley out on him with a hand in his face.
Now South Carolina jumping out on all the shooters. You're not getting very many easy open looks if you're Vanderbilt.
Klavic. Make it 0 for 5 now.
Notice it's another contested shot.
Lucas, on the other hand, finally breaks the drought at the 17-minute mark and extends the lead to 21.
And his shot was contested, but he was able to get his to go. So far, everything's been going South Carolina's way.
Lucas now with 5 points in the ball game. Hitson almost came up with a steal. Freegee open for three, and that shot a little bit flat. Smith, offensive rebound. Moore will try the three. It's too long. Smith, another offensive board.
He got away with a push-off on the first one and was able to go back and get a second one. But Vanderbilt stone cold from the field. This whole ball game, and even more so to start the second half. I think they're so tight because they want to prove that the first half was not a true measure of their team, that they just can't relax and play.
They need all the chances they can get, and finally, Brendan Glavick gets on the scoreboard. Smith smothering Itson. Nice pass to Lucas. Even a better pass inside to Howell. And he is fouled on the floor. Crowd wanted to walk, because I think he did get away with sliding the pivot foot a little bit. Vanderbilt struggling in the first half and hasn't made any headway here early in the second half. They still trail by 19.
This is a perfect place to pursue our dreams. We're all about work.
We want to try to keep the guy in front of us and move your feet.
I'm out here, I feel at home. It's all about the passion.
NBDL tickets. Call 1-800-4NBA-TICKS or visit NBDL.com.
So, what's your deal?
Fast food consultant. I'll try your new product and tell you if I like it. What do you got?
My new big cheeseburger. For a limited time, it's just 79 cents. A big patty with 2 kinds of melting cheese for 79 cents.
Okay, I'll eat that.
What do you charge?
$25,000.
Any takers?
All I need is one.
So the $25,000 is...
Per nugget.
Trying to find some in the huddle as his team trails by 19, trailing by 18 at halftime, and South Carolina has not let them make any headway here in the second half. Just a reminder, immediately following our game, or rather tune in tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern for another outstanding women's basketball matchup. That's when 14th ranked Florida takes on number 24 Georgia, but immediately following our game, it's number 6 Vandy and number 3 Tennessee. Just across the state in Knoxville, and the Lady Vols looking for a little revenge after getting knocked off earlier this year. In fact, just 2 weeks ago to the day here in Nashville.
Yeah, I think a case can be made that both the men's and the women's SEC league is the best in college basketball this year.
Tony Kitchings with the offensive rebound underneath, and Brendan Glavick picks up the foul. He thought he got a clean strip, doesn't like the call.
Have you ever seen one like a call when a foul goes against him? I haven't seen too many guys. Yeah, good call. Glavick looked like he got a lot of hand on the ball over the top. The official didn't see it that way, and Kitchens goes to the free throw line. Sometimes it's tough to be a little guy down there. You know, you get those little nick fouls. And you're down there reaching and slapping because the ball doesn't come out easily from a big guy. So the official thinks oftentimes that you had to foul to get it out.
3 of 4 at the line today is Tony Kitchings, who has 7 points in the ball game off the bench.
There's Dave Odom sending the defense again, the trap. I think this time it's going to be a block against Itson. Good call on the side.
Itson lightning quick, and you've got to get a very big first step to get by him, and that time a little bit late getting over as mass subs come in for Vanderbilt. Shibashevsky, number 13 in, all along with Russell Lakey and Sam Howard. Klavick, Freege, and Thornton all coming out of the game for the Commodores. Shibashevsky down inside, not very comfortable with his back to the basket. Saw it there as he kicked it back out, and here comes Carolina once again.
That's a good point you just made, Kevin. It's very tough for Vanderbilt because they can get inside the defense, but the big guys don't seem to be the real finishers. You know, the ball gets inside, and they're looking a little bit, if they don't have a clear path to the basket, they're looking to kick it back to the perimeter. So it makes it very difficult. You don't really break down a defense unless you get to the glass a few times.
Rondo Howell turns it right back over to Vanderbilt. On the turnover, number 14 of the afternoon for South Carolina. Shibashevsky trying to make a move. Turnaround jumper, left that one extremely short, and it touched the end line. So it'll go back to South Carolina, and there you saw it. Muscle up on him a little bit, and you've got him under control.
Yeah, don't forget European-style players. Even the big guys do what? Very adept at floating on the perimeter and shooting the three. They always wonder about that coming over and playing the American version, getting stronger and tougher. That's what Shibashevsky is going to do as he continues to play here. But right now, still that European training, as you pointed out, Kevin.
Backdoor cut to Lucas. Beautiful lead to Howell, but he can't handle it. Gets his own miss, sticks it back in.
Just quicker to the ball right now, on the boards all the time. South Carolina has things going their way, and they've earned it. They've made this happen this afternoon.
22-point lead for South Carolina. There's a whistle out front. First, we take a look at Aaron Lucas.
Great body control because it's an excellent catch by Lucas, and then a pass as he was falling out of bounds. And then Howell didn't get a good first shot, but again, quicker back to the glass, got the second one to go.
Give Lucas credit after hitting the deck. He was up for the offensive rebound. If that second one didn't go, he was going to grab that one.
Notice how teams are quicker and lighter on their feet when things are going their way. Notice that, Kevin. You see, watch teams, they get a good bounce in their step. That's what the South Carolina Gamecocks have right now.
Vanderbilt with only one field goal here in the second half, 9 overall for the game, but Corey Smith changes that.
Good penetration by Russell Lakey. Turned down a couple of shots from the perimeter. Was able to get it inside. Made a nice bounce pass.
Smith with a rebound on the other end, and the big guys looking to push the tempo. Knocks Aaron Lucas to the deck, and Shibashevsky has that one go right through the wickets.
All that hard work goes for naught. Corey Smith determined to try and get his team started. Brings it down with a hard dribble. Got away with a little bit of a shoulder. Knocking Aaron Lucas out of the way. Just swatted him away very casually, didn't he? And then too hard of a bounce pass through, as you said, through the mitts of his teammate.
Chuck Moore coming out of the ball game for Vanderbilt, favoring that right leg as he goes to the bench. He's in some pain over there.
Rod Newman, the trainer's got to check him out, see how he's doing.
Inside, Kitchings got an extra step there and gets called for it.
Vanderbilt has been in this position before during this SEC season. They were down 20 to Tennessee on their home floor, was able to come all the way back before Tennessee won it on a late bucket. Vanderbilt fans hoping for that to happen again, and Sam Howard hopefully getting them started back on that comeback.
Sam Howard can fill it up when given a chance. He had 22 against Alabama earlier this season. That's his first bucket of the afternoon. As we showed you earlier, a 41% shooter from behind the arc. Kitchings inside, wanted a foul, didn't get it. Vanderbilt starting to chip away just a little bit.
Yeah, can they put a string of baskets together?
Howard tries to leave it for Klavick. Just out of his reach.
It's one of those ones that Kevin Stallings in the film session is going to run and say, now, Sam, what exactly were we trying to get here? We're trying to get back into the game, right? You know, trying to get into the game. Here's the good of Sam Howard, though. Coming off the bench, you spotlighted him early, Kevin, talked about he's a good three-point shooter off the bench, over 40%. Knocking down the triple. There was the good. The bad was his last possession, trying to make a little too much happen, something that really wasn't there.
One of only 3 seniors on this ball club, lifelong Vandy fan.
Yeah, he just committed to Vandy, didn't even take other trips. Tells you how he felt about being a Commodore. they're glad that he signed up with him. He's given a lot of good effort over his 4 years.
He's now just 29 points away from reaching the 1,000-point club here at Vanderbilt as the shot clock works its way inside of 10. Vandy with a nice defensive possession, but Bradley breaks their heart.
They did, and the scouting report says that's what you want him to do. Go with the dribble, make him put it on the floor, make him earn his shot. Might have got away with a little extra half step in there, but a beautiful left-handed scoop layup.
He's the only player in double figures now. He's got 11. Inside, Shivashevsky. Outside, Lakey. Nice ball movement. Howard tries another three. That one was altered a little bit by the defense of Chris Warren.
It was, and Itson blocked out Shivashevsky. Blocked him away from the basket, allowed the rebound to be taken by South Carolina. Example of another nice play made, even though he won't get credit for it in the books. Good play by Itson. Great basketball sense, son of a high school coach.
The drive won't go, but he comes up with the offensive rebound. Jamel Bradley, three, no. Kitchings, another offensive rebound. The hook, no. And the whistle underneath as Shivashevsky hits the deck and is shaken up just a bit.
You see example, watch on the inside. Watch how strong South Carolina is. Wonder if Kitchings got away with a little bit of a push, and then he cleared out with his inside arm on the left-handed hook going back to the hoop. But Shivashevsky put himself in the position for the whistle to be called against it. Tough call for the officials. Was it the push off, or was it the body going against the arm? That time it went against Vanderbilt.
Shivashevsky was in perfect position for the rebound until a little nudge from Kitchings, and suddenly he was 3 feet underneath the basket.
Hey, you gotta know those SEC moves. And Tony Kitchings, been through the wars a few times. He knows how to use that body to his advantage.
Both of his numbers today with 9 points, 6 rebounds, and right now the lead is still at 21. Kevin Stallings' club trying to climb the big hill.
The life of a Southeastern Conference student athlete can be a long, hard road with plenty of ups and downs along the way. We at Greyhound are proud to sponsor the SEC, and now with our support of the youth sports clinics, we hope to make the road easier from the beginning. Greyhound salutes the SEC student athletes, and we wish them well on their road to a championship. Greyhound and the SEC, together we're on the move.
Every move, every story, every weeknight.
Did you see that? That's a classic! Oh, you believe that?
This is totally NASCAR.
This is Fox Sports Net.
Your exclusive destination for all that is NASCAR. Totally NASCAR. Weeknights. Tonight at 10, it's the Southern Sports Report.
Thank you!
It's the nightly newscast you've been waiting for.
This is the real deal.
30 minutes every night dedicated to scores, highlights, and interviews from your hometown teams.
We told you this was going to be good.
Your teams, your town, your show. The Southern.
Picture this. I'm a city guy. I'm doing the whole city thing. But then my job lands me out here. Can you picture it? My nationwide insurance agent could. She made sure my city car was covered out here in the country. Now if I could just get used to the traffic.
Call a nationwide agent today. Nationwide, on your side. In North Charleston, call Tommy Daniels. In Ladson, call John Morris. In North Charleston, call Beth Tibble.
Shooting today. Been very, very cold shooting the ball. Very unlike Vanderbilt, especially at home. And you see Matt Friedrich, he's listed as a center, but he floats to the perimeter a lot. South Carolina taking advantage, using their bigger bodies to have a +12 advantage in the paint.
Three-point shot, usually the friend of the Commodores.
Not today. Now
5 of 23 from behind the arc. Here's a team that averages 9 makes per game in the SEC. That's 10th best in the nation.
Bradley on the curl, missing the three-point shot. Rare miss by him.
Inside, Farigi has it knocked away.
Clean block inside. Looked like Orlando Howell, number 55, got his hand on the ball.
Corey Smith still playing some inspired basketball, though, but not very heads-up basketball. He needs to give that one up.
You got to find his ball handlers.
Howard, 1 of 3 behind the arc now. And it loose ball foul will go against the Commodores.
He's a hustler, though. Corey Smith, number 44, all over the floor right now. Even when the call goes against him, as that one did. Trying to make something happen, as you pointed out, Kevin.
That is 4 fouls now for Corey Smith as Aaron Lucas checks back in the ball game. Jamal Bradley will go out, and now Kevin Stallings having to make his move to bring in Martin Schnedlitz for his first action of the game. And Corey Smith will have to sit down with those 4 fouls.
Schnedlitz tore up his knee the first day of practice last year, ended up redshirting. Could have used the year to get stronger and develop as a regular redshirt, but he had to redshirt and rehab a knee injury, torn ACL. Still trying to work his way back into the shape he was before the injury 2 years ago.
There you saw that time Chuck Idson, a little new wrinkle, bringing the ball up the floor and almost got himself into some serious trouble picking the ball up just over the line and got double teamed. South Carolina keeps the basketball, though.
1-4 set called by Dave Odom from the bench. 4 guys along the baseline, running a couple double screens down low, trying to spring a shooter free.
Warren penetrates. Inside, they go to Powell, back to Idson. Nice look to Powell inside. Count the bucket and the foul. Beautiful pass from Chuck Idson.
Coming into the game, the scouting report is that Vanderbilt is perpetual motion on the offensive end. Look at the passing. Now watch Idson. He found the open space, fakes the jumper, draws Freegee to him. Beautiful bounce pass down low to Carlos Powell with the left hand. And he's one of those southpaws, so that was his strong hand, his dominant hand. Easy shot for him. Beautiful look by Chuck Idson. But he created it by moving to the open space when he saw the pressure on Rolando Howell.
Completes the three-point play. Does Powell. He's now got 11 points in the ball game in double figures. Aaron Lucas hits the
banged
deck,
his knee. Yeah.
holding that right knee.
And he banged his knee on the floor, making a nice play. They showed the trap again and created another turnover. And he traveled trying to get the pass out. He'll come out for a little while. It looks like one of those ones that'll sting. But when you're up 51-27, it won't sting for very long. See the hustle? Just goes for it. So that's how he banged his knee going down. Tom Wilkes right on the call as he started to roll over. It's automatic travel. But it's still a nice hustle play by South Carolina nonetheless.
Boy, did he know where his teammate was. Nice roll and tries to feed it over his head for a fast break opportunity. Vanderbilt trailing by the biggest margin so far today, 24. As Freegee bangs his way inside, and Rolando Howell will pick up the foul.
Foul is on Rolando Howell on South Carolina's second. Team 6.
There's nice work inside by Matt Freegee, able to catch the ball on a high-low and got down underneath the basket on the baseline, took it up strong. Howell got there too late, so Freegee shoots 2. Obviously, he's capable of playing in the low blocks, but he's still going to put on weight. Remember, he's only a sophomore. You know, this guy's going to put on some more heft, learn to work with his back to the basket a little bit more, and keep his post-up game facing the basket. He's just going to keep getting better and better.
Can score in bunches, had a career-high 29 earlier this season against Auburn. That earned him SEC Player of the Week honors. But since then has been up and down. And right now, Stallings trying to get something going with a little full-court pressure.
They traveled. Didn't catch it in time. Or I say didn't catch it in time, he caught it. But you can't take a couple steps in between before you have to either put it on the ground or pass it. One of the few mistakes we've seen Chuck Idson make today was controlling the basketball.
A little double clutch there. Inside. Travis playing nice defense against Schnedlitz. Ball tapped away, and Vandy will inbound it with 22 seconds left on the shot clock.
Knows Kevin Stallings has not even come close to giving up on his team. He had the tirade, but he's been back coaching and coaching and coaching, trying to find the right buttons to get his team off the schneid. Nice pass inside by Lakey.
Nice recognition, even a nicer pass inside to Freegee. Count the bucket, and he'll step to the free throw line. And Marius Petravicius just picked up personal foul number 4.
This is more of what we expected to see out of Vanderbilt today. Lakey faking the pass. Gets the ball inside to Scott Hundley, who makes another nice pass to Freegee. Now he goes to the line for the three-point play. Where's John Houseman when you need him? Huh? This is your chance to earn it.
7 points for the sophomore out of Shawnee Mission, Kansas. Now make it 8 once again the full court pressure, and South Carolina beats it easily. Throw over the top.
This isn't Vanderbilt's game, so I'm interested to see how South Carolina attacks the pressure. And I think we just got an answer. The last time, if Itson hadn't traveled, they attacked it with an alley-oop dunk. This time, a pull-up jumper by Chris Warren. But you know, South Carolina's not attacking it to set up in the half court. They're attacking it to score, which I think is a good move on their part.
3 ball in the corner, airmailed that time by Jason Alwerda. Bradley, 3 on the way, back-to-back threes for South Carolina. The lead is back to 25.
Some days it's just your day. And right now, it is truly South Carolina's day. Everything they're doing is working. They've worked hard to get to this position today.
Rondo Howell leaves that jumper just a bit short. Lakey looking inside for Frigi, being fronted by Petromicius. Lob over the top, the double team, and he throws it right in the hands of Chuck Edson.
Great team defense. Jamal Bradley felt that he dropped down to force the double team, which meant that the Vanderbilt player had to make the pass, and Chuck Edson dropped down from the top of the zone to intercept the pass, getting to the passing lanes. Excellent overall team defense. Edson ends up with the steal, but that was created by his teammates.
Edson just a bit out of control coming down as well, and turns the ball right back over to Vanderbilt as Sam Howard comes into the lineup. Russell Lakey will sit down. Lakey, as we mentioned, has played now the last 4 ball games, but had missed 6 prior to that with a foot fracture he's been nursing since forever, it seems like. He did play 26 minutes against Kentucky the other night. That was his season high.
Hard to get those well when you have to go right back out and run and pound on it, isn't it?
Bounce pass inside. Rolando Howell gambled on the steal and pays for it as he picks up his 3rd personal of the afternoon.
Now the question is definitely answered today about how will South Carolina respond to the disappointment of the Alabama loss the other night. Up 15 points in the second half. They lose by 1 at home. The game that was theirs for the taking. Dave Odom was wondering how his team would respond. And he bottomed out at practice. He said at Thursday, he said, I got after him pretty hard. I kicked him around a little to make sure we wouldn't wallow in it. And so far, that question's been answered.
Right now, his club kicking around the Commodores. Jamel Bradley with another big 3. His team up by 23.
Row harness, swabbies. Siberia's still half an ocean away.
At the base, your drummer will never get there.
Oh, we'll sink.
Oh, can't you row without me drumming?
You'd be keeping the beat if you drank a Red Bull.
Red Bull?
Yeah, the energy drink. It vitalizes body and mind. You're all pumped up.
Shows me brain. Forget Siberia. Let's do Bermuda.
What a genius.
Or even better, let's do Hawaii. It's more for everybody.
Red Bull gives you wings. I need some suntan lotion.
Thanks to the technology inside, you can take Guinness Draft outside. Introducing Guinness Draft in a bottle.
In 1971, we started with a small wood preserving plant. It's hard to believe. But our #1 goal has always been to be the best. My daddy always said, if you're ripe, you're rotten. If you're green, you're still growing. Great Southern wood, still growing after 30 years.
South Carolina in control, looking to make it 3 straight wins over Vandy on the road. Just a reminder, right after this ball game, we got more hoops. It's the ladies' grudge match. 3rd-ranked Tennessee taking on Vanderbilt. 6th-ranked Commodores beat the Lady Vols here in Nashville 2 weeks ago, so stick around. It's a rematch, the best in women's college basketball right here in the SEC, and it's following this game from Nashville. Dave Odom late breaking the huddle here as he's team in firm control, looking to pick up their 15th win of the season.
And right now, Vanderbilt's offensive numbers obviously not very impressive at all. 34 points are low for the season. 54 at Florida on February the 9th. They're in danger of not even reaching that. And South Carolina holding teams to 62 points per game on defense. They may improve that statistic a little bit after today.
South Carolina has been holding SEC opponents 15.5 points below their average, and they're well on pace to do that again here today as Chris Warren knocks down his second consecutive three. Chris Warren, a little bit of an offensive spark off the bench today for South Carolina. He's got 8 points.
As well as South Carolina's playing today, Kevin, you get the sense that the team manager can come off the bench and hit a couple of threes. And I'm not saying that because South Carolina's been lucky. They've earned this the whole way. They've worked hard at it. But everyone is hot right now. Look at the 3-point field goals. Vandy came into the game leading the SEC. 20% right now? No way you would have thought that coming into this game. No chance. Not on their home floor.
With South Carolina dominating the points in the paint, they are also dominating behind the arc. 10 for 19 from three-point range today. Better than 50%. Plavic, Corey Smith with his 4 personal fouls checking back in, and Chuck Moore seems to have shaken off his ailment from earlier. He's back in the ball game as well. Scott Hundley will check out.
But if you're Vanderbilt right now, you're thinking you've got to do some things. One, you're still trying to win the game, obviously. I mean, you look at the clock and Kevin started thinking, one, you're still trying to win the game, but two, you're trying to do some things that gives you a leg up towards your next ball game. There's still some season left to be played. There's still an SEC tournament to be played. Get some things going. And you look out on the floor right now, and you see, when you look at the guys that are playing for Vanderbilt, Hawerda, number 3, is a freshman, right? Schniblitz is a redshirt freshman, number 42 on the floor. Plavic, number 5, is a sophomore. And Corey Smith, right, is a freshman, sophomore. I mean, these are young guys. 9 of 9 guys on their team are freshmen or sophomores. So there's a lot of building left to be done for Kevin Stallings, and one way to do it is to continue to play in a game that right now you feel as if you're out of.
Very young team, but Kevin Stallings said this year he was not going to use that as an excuse. He used it last year a bit, but now he's ready for this team to grow up.
And this is a growing experience for them. How will you play when things are going against you? Well, if you play for Kevin Stallings, you're going to play hard. Or you're not going to play. He's not going to permit that.
His team has continued to battle here today, but with the red-hot shooting of South Carolina, they have just about hit everything they've thrown the way of the rim.
Beautiful bounce pass.
Powell comes over to make sure that Chuck Moore does not get an easy one.
Look at the bounce pass by Hawerda. Beautiful. Leading him in stride. Now Chuck Moore going to the 10. Carlos Powell says, I'll meet you there. It picks up the foul, but as you said, no easy ones.
Moore will try to step to the line and earn 2. He has been very solid this year, 81% free throw shooter. Substitution for South Carolina, Chuck Itson coming back in, and Chris Warren will step out. Warren with a couple of big threes off the bench, has 8 points. Usually they bring him in as more of a defensive stopper in the ball game, but he's supplied a little offense today as Moore connects on both.
Vandy again trying to press and trap in the backcourt and create some turnovers. They got the right guy if they could have gotten to him in time, and Kitchens handling the ball. Didn't quite get there. Now Aaron Lucas restores order on the offensive end for the Gamecocks.
Like that may have caught Vandy a little off guard to see big Tony Kitchens dribbling the basketball off the floor.
Almost as if they didn't believe it when they were seeing it.
Powell, top of the key, shot clock down to 10. Lucas eyeing the inside, and now he'll go to work on Plavic. Pull-up jumper, rimmed in and out. Brendan Plavic pulled up the basketball when he had nobody to go to.
Thought he had someone and then realized he didn't. It's too late, ended up getting the second step in.
14 turnovers apiece for South Carolina and Vanderbilt here this afternoon. Itson Working against Jason Alwerd out front.
Dave Odom called a set from the sideline. See if they spring Bradley around on a curl move. Trying to spring him free on for a shot. Looks like they might be trying to look for Idson.
Carolina being patient, but that time Tony Kitchings pitching a 10 in the lane, get called for the 3-second call.
It's okay to paint the lane. You just can't stand around and watch it dry, right?
Exactly. As Powell comes out, Rondo Howell, Tony Kitchings on the interior for South Carolina, Bradley, Idson, and Lucas. A 3-guard lineup. Chet Moore looking for someone to spring free. Smith continuing to be aggressive, takes that one hard to the hoop. Orlando Howell, nice acting job, but doesn't win the Oscar for taking the dive.
not on this one. They have picked up their fair share of charges today, though, haven't they? But their bodies in harm's way on a number of occasions.
Inside 4.5, and South Carolina trying to milk the clock just a little bit here. And if Corey Smith gets whistled for that foul, that is number 5 for him. Indeed it is. Corey Smith fouling out of the ball game for South Carolina with 2 points on the afternoon. 7 rebounds to his credit, though, so he did a nice job on the glass.
Showed a lot of hustle today. He's got something to build on. I think when Kevin Stallings reviews game tapes, he's going to realize Corey Smith gave him everything he had today. He may not like what he saw from some other guys at different times, but I think Corey Smith would be one of those people.
Taking his time and drains the first free throw.
Well, it's a tough look there on Kevin Stallings' face. You know, he's got to be thinking to himself. He said he told us, Kevin, he's been telling the team since Wednesday how important this game is towards building towards the postseason. And they didn't come out really ready to go. And you know, he did all he could to get them ready. It just didn't happen for whatever reason, and he's trying to figure out why.
The ball continues to bounce South Carolina's way as they get a couple of offensive boards, and now Aaron Lucas says, let's milk the clock a tad.
And this is when you're South Carolina. We talked about what Vanderbilt was going to work on. If you're South Carolina with a big lead here, you work on your offensive set. You work on turning over your offense and running your plays crisply so that you don't just go sloppy down the stretch. Dave Odom wants to make sure his team looks good as they try to finish off this ball game.
Jump ball called inside as Shibashevsky was able to tie up Orlando Howell, but the basketball will stay with South Carolina on the alternate possession. 15 seconds on the shot clock. And Lucas will probably use as much of it as possible here. Makes his move on Plavic. Spin move, one-hand jumper, no. Kitchings trying to finish it strong, but can't come up with it. Moore tries the reversal. Idson got a piece of it. He and Idson continue to battle for it. And who touched it last? Aaron Lucas. So to stay with Vanderbilt. It has not been the Commodores' day. Aaron Lucas and company looking to pull home a big road win here this afternoon in Nashville.
At Advance Auto Parts, we believe in doing it yourself. So we made this commercial ourselves.
We had Florence here check out the prices of our competitors versus ours. Do you have the results? But first, Florence, would you ever lie to millions of Americans who really want to believe that someone on TV is capable of telling the truth?
Never.
Go.
Advance is still the queen of low prices.
Queen, Florence?
As long as I'm here.
Queen's fine.
Shrimp Fest is on, and you're gonna have fun eating all the shrimp you crave. So bring all your friends, your kids, and your kin to the great little seafood place. Captain D's. Shrimp Fest is hot. Captain D's. Look at all we got.
You'll get it all with D's Classic Shrimp and more. Piled high with our mouth-watering bite-sized shrimp.
No reason to be scared to come on in and do some shrimping at the great little seafood place. Captain D's, please.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's so
Sir, can I help you, sir?
No, thanks. I'm good.
Lobster
Shrimpfest is back. Dive into Red Lobster's mouth-watering celebration of your favorite lobster dishes and succulent new creations, starting at just $10.99. Red Lobster, go overboard.
I'm Jim Rome. Next week on The Last Word, I will discuss the evolution of racial equality in Major League Baseball with Negro League star Buck O'Neil, Hall of Famer Ernie Banks, and 17-year vet Eric Davis. The Last Word, weeknights at 10:30, Fox Sports Net.
South Carolina on cruise control here for the final 3:35, 25-point lead, and Jamel Bradley right at his average today, Charles, 14 points.
Yeah, 4 of 9 from three-point line. That's about his average of shooting threes also. He's had a big game because he's been allowed to get to the spots he wants to get to on the floor and square up and shoot the basketball in rhythm. And he's got a lot of help from his teammates with some nice bumps and picks. It's been an all-around excellent day on the offensive end for the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Out front, Jason Alwerda loses the handle, and over and back as he threw it in the backcourt. Chuck Moore tried to let Itson maybe get a hand on it first, but it didn't work out. And just a reminder, immediately following our game, we'll send you up to Knoxville for that dynamite matchup in the SEC between 6th-ranked Vanderbilt and the number 3 Lady Vols of Tennessee. So stick around.
And when was the last time the Tennessee Lady Vols were possibly an underdog? You know, I mean, you can look at it that way. The way they've played lately, the way Vanderbilt's played lately. This is Vanderbilt's shot to get them on their home floor. Vandy's won the last 2 in this series. This is a big ball game. Tennessee lost to Texas earlier this week, right? Lost to Vanderbilt here, you said, what, 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago. Got thumped by 17 here on the road, so I guess you could say they may be an underdog, and it would probably be not in too many people's lifetimes that they've been an underdog in Knoxville.
Not very often. This is a big one for Jim Foster and his team. It really signaled to everyone where they are in the SEC.
Ball being knocked around out front. Itson and Alwerda battling for it, and Itson comes up with a big 3. Chuck Itson now in double figures, 10 points. Moore shakes away from Itson and knocks down a jumper of his own. And a smattering of applause from the Vandy faithful, who are looking for any kind of positive here in the final couple of minutes.
And Dave Odom got to empty his bench, give some guys who worked hard in practice a chance to play in an SEC game. Michael Boynton, number 30, is already on the floor for South Carolina. Backup point guard.
Slavic has had a rough 3-game stretch after road trips to Florida and Kentucky, and now here at home, where he has totaled just 2 points today. 0 for 6 from behind the 3-point line, and a 30-second timeout call just to basically get some subs in and get them a little bit of playing time. 1:51 left to go in Nashville, and South Carolina leading big by 26.
Thanks to the technology inside, you can take Guinness Draft outside. Introducing Guinness Draft in a bottle.
The Southeastern Conference. SEC basketball, the standard of excellence.
This season, SEC tailgating won't be complete without first visiting one of your local Hibbett sports stores. Here you'll find the brand new 2001 SEC collection and a money savings offer from Golden Flake. Whenever you purchase a 12 1/4 ounce bag of Golden Flake thin and crispy chips, you'll receive a coupon worth 20% off any SEC collection item. And when you buy collection merchandise, you'll get a coupon for buy one, get one free off Golden Flake's Mazitos brand tortilla chips. It's a win-win when you're wearing the SEC collection.
South Carolina just a minute 51 away from chalking up their 15th win of the season, their 5th in SEC play, as they have dominated this game here today against the Commodores. The Lady Doors in action right after this ball game, just across the state in Knoxville, as they'll take on number 3 Tennessee. Great women's basketball matchup in SEC play, and has a lot of national implications as well, so stick around. That should be a dynamite contest right after we wrap up here in Nashville.
Yeah, you know how certain games are the game of the night in the country. That's the one in women's basketball. Tennessee Vanderbilt. Whole country's been focused on that one.
Turnover for South Carolina as Matt Carter, the 6'3 junior out of Houston, Texas, third-year walk-on, jumps in the mix and throws it off of a South Carolina player. The bench has been cleared for both sides. Carter has it knocked away there, though. And then they'll turn it right back over as Michael Boynton tried to get up with the basketball and forgot to put it on the floor.
They got to put it on the floor first as you get up. He said, hey, I was dribbling the ball, but as you mentioned, he came up first. Still a good hustle play by him.
Sam Howard, 3 on the way, and got another one. That's his second of the afternoon. Sam Howard with 6 points in the ball game. Inside, John Chappell tried to make a move on Darius Koulibaly. And the ball knocked away, last touched by South Carolina. Another turnover on the Gamecocks, as Issa Kanari has it get away from him, the 6'7 freshman for South Carolina out of Senegal. And things getting a bit sloppy as you get the guys on the floor who haven't seen a whole lot of PT this year. Scott Hundley turning it over for Vanderbilt. He's probably the most veteran player on the floor right now.
And Sam Howard, number 10. Everyone trying to do what they've been coached to do. Also trying to make a nice play in order to get noticed a little bit more by the coaches.
You get in the game, you want to get in the box score.
Yes, you do. You want to get on the books.
Boynton outside. Taylor tries a 3. No. Saved by Boynton. Nice hustle. Ivan Howell thought about the 3, and he'll give it off. Thinks about it again. Matt Carter credit. He's playing some pretty tenacious defense out there. The shot clock is off. The final 15 seconds tick away. Boynton, for the second time, gets called for traveling. Took an extra hop there. Turnover 20 for South Carolina, but doesn't matter a whole lot as they have simply dominated this game here today. Kanari clears it away for Carolina, and they will just dribble this one out and walk away with a 23-point win on the road at Vanderbilt. Kevin Stallings' club simply dominated by the Gamecocks this afternoon. He and Dave Odom make their way to midcourt to congratulate one another, and they split the series, each taking a game on the road.
Yeah, not something you would expect, because most times you tend to hold serve at home, but Dave Odom exercised the ghosts of the Alabama game from the other night in a big way today with the South Carolina Gamecocks. All credit to them today.
South Carolina moves up to 5th in the SEC standings as Vandy falls to the basement. They'll try to get up after getting thumped today at home.